Hey guys!
Chill.
Welcome back.
We're too enthusiastic about this.
So,
Someone.
imagine 2020 was because we watched that. I would kill myself.
What are you talking about? 2020's been shit way before. No, we watched that like mid 2020.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I was working when we did. Okay. I forgot.
That's getting cut out.
What if it was happening because people were watching it in general? People were watching it before 2020.
It wasn't really a whole curse. The whole curse thing was part of the marketing of the movie. It's not really.
It starts off with basically a mockumentary.
Well, not really because
mockumentary.
It's serious. It's more of a serious. Well,
yeah, mockumentary. It's a fake documentary.
Well,
that's mocking a documentary.
See, mockumentary
like Spinal Tap.
See, mockumentary.
Even though
sounds like you're making fun of it.
Of a documentary, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what it was doing. Not
just faking.
Spinal Tap was a mockumentary. It wasn't a real documentary. It was making fun of them.
Yeah, not making, but necessarily this one wasn't really making fun of it. It was posing as one.
Yeah, mockumentary.
Okay. I've never heard that term in my
life. Have you ever heard of the movie Spinal Tap?
Nope.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the saying, turn up to 11?
Yeah.
This one goes up to 11. That was from Spinal Tap, which is a mockumentary. He was going on about his amp and how special it was because it went up 11. The guy goes, why don't you just make 11 10 and make 10 the loudest one? He was, because this one goes up to 11. But it starts off with a mockumentary about how
it's like the most dangerous movie alive.
Yeah.
And how like they showed it.
Yeah.
And like people
were dying, getting sick, dying from the sickness. Just a lot of death. There's a fire apparently.
That was like the first theater. Like it was a like burned down. But I think honestly though, the movie on its own was
that good.
Fine.
It wasn't that good.
It
could have been better. It could have. It was. I don't like psychological thrillers, so I didn't like the movie that much. There was one part that was funny. It was with the deer fucker. Do you remember that?
Yes. No, it was a fine movie, or not fine. Well, fine in the way that like it was okay.
I did not like how they said like Isaiah or some guy. I was like, who the fuck is Isaiah? There is no reference to Isaiah until the end of the movie. This dark figure with dreadlocks comes up, and I'm like,
I really don't understand like that.
It just looks like Gizzy Gazza but dark.
Throughout the movie, you had like the weird like black and white like short like either images or like videos of those people. Like
it was supposedly added in later, and no one knows who added it in. But
I will say
it was part of the whole.
One of my favorite parts of the movie was like the part where like the movie would just stop and you just had like the faint picture of like the devil like staring at you.
I think it was Baphomet.
Baphomet. That one was honestly I kind of like that part because it kind of just.
Yeah, it makes you feel uneasy, right?
Yeah. But overall, the movie was just.
I watched what's his face, Mr. GG. He was reacting to disturbing movies, and that was one of them. He goes, "I had to pause it and walk away at that part. It was I'm not staring down this fucking demon."
Like, well, did he say it in like a way that was like it was just uncomfortable, or he just thought it was like cringy or something?
He was uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just sitting there.
Yeah,
and playing like weird distorted sound. Like didn't it play weird disturbed? Yeah, it did help with like the
kind of
atmosphere. Yeah.
It was an okay movie. Yeah. Like I will say though, I don't really understand why the mom was a bitch. Like for the short time she was in the movie, she was just a bitch.
Who tells their child their dog went to hell?
Like
who would give their child an aspect of hell?
Like, no, I mean, I understand if you're coming from, like, a religious family, you should give your kid, like, an aspect of, like, hell, but not in a way that's like, oh, your dog died, it's going to hell. Like,
because it bit him once. Like, and it was proven in the movie that the fucking Isaiah, or whatever the fuck his name is, caused it.
And, yeah, because what was the whole point, what was that, like, apparently,
That
because the kid
dreadlock guy
because
was
the kid
her
knew
friend.
the whole time that like it was fake or something. I think he.
No, he thought it was real because the guy that his sister made up, he actually met apparently.
Oh.
So he thought the whole thing was real, and he was freaking out because she took the collar. And was trying to make all this up, and then he's like, it's real. And those fucking people look like they got covered in coal dust. Were squatting around the whole fucking woods.
Oh, like the people that were like burning the Asian guy?
No, those two were cannibals. Those were like their own. Like,
I think honestly,
remember those like a large group of people around the woods?
Yeah, I think that. Well, I think those were supposed to be like shadow demons or something. Yeah. I guess.
I wish it had more explanation.
It was a okay movie.
It could have been better.
It could have.
If it explained a lot more in that, it would have been amazing. Even though I don't like psychological thrillers.
The concept overall, the concept of the movie, it's a good concept.
Yeah.
Like the most dangerous movie ever.
Yeah.
And it's like said to be cursed, but the execution was
shit
to be desired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what.
There's a bunch of things like who Isaiah really was because it shows Baphomet at the end, but Isaiah never looked like Baphomet. He looked like a person, tall, thin person, tall, thin, humanoid, dark shadow, with dreadlocks. Couldn't even see the eyes.
Honestly,
could have explained who he was.
It's been a few months since we've seen the movie,
could
so I don't remember what he
the
looked
cannibals a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Could explain like more of the kids' stories
Mm-hmm.
and build up more of that, so you'd have they're more likable characters.
Yeah.
They were dull as fuck. I hated that. I hated the sister too,
But
I hated the brother a lot more. He was a whiny little bitch.
To be fair, how old was he? Like,
he was 9.
Was he 9?
9.
This is
10. 9.
Yeah, he was somewhere around that. The sister was like in her late teens. Like she could have been an adult. She wouldn't have passed as
she
a
was like
mother, but
16, 17, 15, around that era.
Also, like leaves off the whole movie leaves off at a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
I think right. Like, like she's like freaking out because she couldn't find her brother. She went back to the tent and she had the gun. And she was just there in silence, just like. She didn't call. Well, I think she did call out to her brother, but the brother wouldn't respond. He was like carrying the, the collar.
I think he.
And she was about to shoot him.
He could have said, "Hey," even coughed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what that. But because all that shit, she probably thought, this guy comes back, I'm gonna kill my little brother and then kill myself because I found out it was my little brother. It was just so bad.
It could have been better.
She could have opened the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't him, shot. Because she could hear he was a distance away.
Mm-hmm.
So she'd be able to, have time to see him. If he starts charging at her, shoot him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him.
What was the bit with the husky, too? Was that supposed to be Cerberus?
They were supposed to make them think it's Cerberus. Or make you think it's Cerberus.
See, I like the
concept. I have no idea whose dog it is. It might have been the cannibals or something like that.
Again, the whole concept of the movie is fine, but in execution,
they could have done better. I mean, I know they're on a budget, and it's not a big production.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be for a movie festival.
Yeah.
Shit. But even then, those movies, half the time, are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Or the majority of the time, are really good. Because they can do whatever they want. They can pay someone minimum wage.
See, even on a small budget, you can make a really good movie. I think it was
not Harry Potter Puppet Pals, fucking Pokemon Pals.
No, I'm trying to think who was
it's a YouTube series, and it's really good. By a guy who wants to be a director.
I'm trying to think.
He made his own movie recently. But Pokemon Pals is really good. They have the same people play different characters, and it's still good. Mm-hmm. They still make you believe it's a different character.
See,
or a different actor.
I don't remember who this director is. He's a very well-known director. I don't remember. I think
it's
Robert Rodriguez. I think it was him. He made a movie. His first movie.
Yeah.
Was $7,000. and it turned out to be a hit. Like, you don't need a giant budget to, like...
I could have a budget of not $5, but in
$5.
theory, I could have a budget of $5 and make a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have a budget of...
Hell, nowadays,
all the money...
all you need is, like, a fucking phone. Like, and realistically, all you would need is just, like, a phone and maybe, like, a few other things, like some people, maybe
like,
some props, act. And, like,
you could make a Have you ever heard of the movie Super 8? The movie is about the...
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
That was a shit movie, but it was good at the same time for some reason. Maybe because
What was that movie about? It was, like, aliens?
Yeah, Alien, a Super 8 camera, kids, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah, because I remember watching that as a kid.
Yeah.
I barely remember anything from it.
I watched it back around 12th grade, or not 12th grade, fucking, that was last year. Around Wiley, in case.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Wiley because
from what I remember,
I think Blockbuster was still around then. It might have not. Yeah, it was because I rented it from Blockbuster, so it was Wiley. So 5th, 6th grade. Shit movie. But because of the execution, it was good. Mm-hmm. It revolves around a Super 8 camera.
No, what do you mean by like shit movie?
Just the act, not the acting. It was. How do I explain this?
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so
it's been a while for me, like watching it, so it's hard to explain it. The acting was okay.
Mm-hmm.
The execution, or how they acted in it, was good. The concept is good, I think. If I remember correctly, it was good. Just how they went about doing it was shit. So why did it scare the dogs away? Didn't explain that. Just them not explaining shit at all really defeats the purpose of... Yeah.
I mean, there's some movies that work on that concept.
Yeah.
Like, the less you know, the more it, like, adds to the story.
Yeah, like,
but
Gravity Falls. The less you know, you know as much as Dipper does.
Mm-hmm.
Or if not less. And you keep coming back. It's like... We've been filming or recording for an hour.
This is from, I don't know how you pronounce them, a really good channel, OYFF?
Oif?
I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's a really funny guy. Very funny video.
Alright, guys. That's it for today. See you next time.
Yeah, it's 7 p.m.